The standard form of a complex number is a plus or minus bi, where both a and b are elements of the real numbers. To write a number in the standard form of a complex number, the first thing that we need to do is address this radical with a negative underneath. We want to write this quantity in terms of I, and then see if there's any more simplification that can be done. So let's look at just the square root of negative 125, which can be written as negative 1 times 25 times 5 under the radical, which becomes the square root of negative 1 times the square root of 25 times the square root of 5. And each of these can be evaluated to be I times 5 times the square root of 5. So the square root of negative 125 can be written as 5i rad 5s, which is its preferred form. So this number that we've started with can be rewritten as negative 6 plus 5i radical 5s, and this is considered to be the standard form of this number. Now it is true that we have our I multiplier here in the center, where the radical is on the end, but this still counts as a real number plus or minus a real number multiple of I. Anytime we have a radical and the coefficient of I, the radicals will be on the end, and this is to ensure that it doesn't look like the I is under the radical, because it shouldn't be. For part B, again, we'll start by looking at the square root of this negative quantity. The square root of negative 169 can be rewritten as the square root of negative 1 times 169. We can split a radical over multiply, and so this becomes I times 13, and the preferred way of writing this would be 13i. So we'll replace negative 169 under the radical with 13i to get that this number can then be rewritten as 10 minus 13i is replacing that radical to give us this complex number written in standard form, which is again a real number plus or minus some real number multiple of I.